Hey guys, welcome to today's video about catching cats. All about cats, nothing but cats. We're excited to bring this one to you. It's just been one of my favorite things to do ever on a trap line is to walk up on a big hissing, snarling, growling tomcat. They are the most awesome things ever. And I'm gonna show you my favorite 3 sets that I've used and personally employed on my line for over 15 years. Little tips and tricks along the way. And hey, if there's a better teacher out there than the cat itself, I don't know what it is. So we're going to show you a lot of footage about cats coming in, working the sets. If you want to see how quick they are, watch him step squarely on the pan of my trap and get trapped. See how quickly this little sucker reacts. So stick around, guys. Lots to learn about this one. Hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, we wanted to start off this segment by kind of showing you a little bit of a trap bag check. We're not going to go through the whole bag, but I will show you the different things that I use that are different and specific to cat trapping as opposed to trapping in general or coyote trapping. For me, cat trapping revolves around one thing and one thing only. That's feathers. Feathers, feathers, feathers. We're fortunate we are huge avid turkey hunters, and one of the things that we have started doing in the last few years is we kill 7, 8, 9. Last year we killed 9 turkeys, and normally I just breast them out. You know, you pull the skin off to the side, get the breast out, throw the carcass away. Well, what I've started doing in the last few years is saving all those feathers. And guys, cats love turkeys. I mean, they'll follow a flock around, just pick them off one bird at a time, and so cats are naturally interested and attracted to feathers. So save all your turkey feathers. This, if you're wondering why these are white, these actually came from a pillow we were about to toss away, and I realized that it was a goose down pillow, and so I ripped it open and saved all the feathers. And you talk about something that's really flashy and attractive out there in the wild is goose down feathers. So save all your feathers. We'll show you how to fluff up a set. And then in Missouri, we're allowed, again, check your regulations, check your state laws. You may not be able to use natural things like feathers. You might have to use, tinsel or something else. But here in Missouri, we're allowed to use feathers. And I save all the wings when we're fortunate enough to tag along and go duck hunting. We're not big duck hunters. I'm usually still bow hunting and chasing deer. But wings from ducks make awesome flagging. In fact, we save, I'll save dove wings, whatever, but I'll also save the turkey feather from the wing. Just a feather hanging there, guys, will make a great flagging attractant. And flagging, if you hear me refer to flagging is something that you can hang over your set, and it gets cats feed more visually. Coyotes feed more. If you notice, their whole forehead is focused on their snout. Cats are eyes forward. Coyotes are the predators are eyes forward, but cats really feed visually, and a flagging will really get their attention from way off. And you need something that's going to get their attention, get them over there. Cats are very fickle. You'll see them come in and work the sets later on in this video. And what I do is I buy the biggest barrel swivels that I can find at Walmart. These are size 2/0. And it doesn't matter. I don't look for 2/0. I look for the biggest ones I can find. So look for the flashy. You can see these right here. This is several years old, so it's lost its glitter and it's gold. But flashy is fine. And then I buy the biggest egg sinker that I can find. Again, you'll see these are 2 different sizes. I don't care necessarily about the size. I just want the biggest I can find at Walmart and Bass Pro, wherever you happen to be, some hardware store that carries fishing stuff. But see, if once I hang this from a limb, the wind can't blow this around because of this huge big egg sinker here. But watch that feather dance around, and that's going to really attract a cat's attention from 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 yards away. Get him to come down, and he'll see this first before he can soak in the smells and the scents and everything else. So this will visually attract him. I did want to show you this. I neglected to show you this in the coyote video. This is a great time saver. If you're going to make a dirt hole, this auger bit came from Menards. It was about $10 or $11, obviously on a cordless drill, but that will save you a ton of time of digging. And then get you a pair of nice little pruning shears. Sometimes I want to hang a flagging over a set, but I may be far enough away that there's not a tree overhanging that I can hang from. Grab you a big old sapling that's about as big around as your thumb or your finger, cut it off, and you can actually punch a stake hole drive your stake hole driver into the ground and stick that sapling in there, and you've got a ready-made overhanging limb there, and it's easy to do with your pruning shears. Another thing that I've learned over the years, and we'll show you this out there on the line once we get into the fields and actually setting traps, is I've found it easier to make walkthrough sets with double long springs as opposed to coil springs. I'll show you later in this video, I've missed a lot of cats over the years from coil springs that were frozen in. Cats generally breeding in late January. The toms are moving, they're running then, and that's unfortunately a time when it's hard to keep a set working. I've learned how to over the years, but I've missed a lot of cats. I'll show you that. They stepped all over my walkthrough, and I missed them because my trap was frozen in. The reason why is a traditional coil spring, everything that fires this trap is on the underside of it. The levers are down, the jaws are down, the springs are down, all of that is down touching the ground, and you need that loose to fire. So when the cat steps on it, everything comes up, and if it's frozen down, you miss the animal. I have since went on walkthroughs to double long springs, and you'll see I've actually replaced the standard stock pan. This is a Sleepy Creek number 3, I believe it is, but the stock pan, yep, it is a 3. The stock pan is that big around. I've replaced it with Chip Davis's Expand-A-Pans. You can see how much bigger this is. It's twice the surface area, maybe 4 times almost. You could almost put 4 of these on here. So I went to this Chip Davis Expand-A-Pan, and what I did was I went to my local hardware store and I picked up a broken box of these shingles for free. If you ask for brown shingles that are broken packed, they'll give them to you for free. Then I went and I traced this pan onto the shingle, and I have all these pan covers that look natural. If you notice, if you look down here, what that does is when you set a double long spring down, and we'll show you this in a while, it's easy. I mean, that's a perfect place for a cat to put his foot. There's an old saying in the trapping world, give a cat a place to step, and he will. So that makes a great place for a cat to step. I've had a lot of luck with that. The great thing about double long springs is there's nothing to freeze down. All the action, all the mechanism is up top. And so the way these springs work is the bottom can be froze solid. I mean, that could literally be frozen down, but the top of it here, when I fire that pan, the top of it, all that needs to come up is the top of the springs. See, all they did was move up, and it closed these jaws. It's an awesome way to cat trap, guys. We'll show you more details out on the woods, but I wanted to take some time and just kind of walk through these really carefully in case I forgot about it on the line. But we'll show you them in action here later on down the road. There's nothing like catching a cat. Okay guys, so here is basically just one of my most common sets for cats. If I'm on a field edge like this right here, I kind of actually look for overhanging limbs, something that I can hang my flagging from. You'll see the big egg sinker and the barrel swivel doing its work there, allowing the duck wing just to rotate flip flap. I always want to make sure that it cannot get wrapped up back around there because I rely on that a lot to pull a cat in from way away. And then, like I mentioned, I use a lot of feathers. You've got a flashy dirt hole, again, drilled at a 45-degree angle. I'm not going to belabor the point of the set construction itself as far as burying the trap and everything. It doesn't change from coyotes to cats. You've still got to bed it extremely solid. What does change is how flashy, how visually attractive the set is. So I use a lot of turkey feathers around my dirt hole. I can actually also guide a whole lot more. The sides are really built up here. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but it really encourages that cat to walk down. I also position my trap a little closer to the right side. For some reason, cats like to approach and kind of hug the right side of things. I've noticed that from a lot of videos that I've watched over the years, and you'll see some of that, they kind of hug that right side. So I will center that a little over to the right. and a little farther back, because a cat will lose interest really quickly. He may come up and only walk a little ways and get disinterested and turn around. So I want the trap a little bit farther out. It's about right there, as opposed to a coyote would be closer up. So again, I'm relying on this. I still use scents. I use a variety of scents. Perfect from Charles Dobbins, Badlands Bob from, I believe, John Graham. I'll spray, unless it's breeding season. Cats react to coyote urine just as well as they do bobcat urine, unless it's breeding season. So save yourself some money there. As a little tip. Coyote urine will attract a cat just as well as bobcat urine, but you'll see I've got a lot of videos of cats walking around spraying and urinating on the back of a set just like a coyote does. So again, this is a basic dirt hole set, but fluffed up and made visually attractive for a cat. Set number 1. Well guys, I thought I'd start you off with this. I've got a friend who always reminds me that trapping can be very humbling, and I've got a kind of a flashy dirt hole out here in a set of, this is a corner of a field that I'd picked up a lot of bobcat tracks on, and I kind of wanted to catch something coming from both different ways. And of course Mr. Possum, the fastest animal in the woods, gets out here and kind of playing around in the dirt hole, and you'll see he ends up messing around getting caught, and he's sitting there looking and watching as Mr. Tom passes right on by. So he's got my set plugged up, watching the Tom walk by, back and forth, and oh my gosh, yeah, not a good feeling when you're watching that trail camera footage the next day after pulling it and you've had to dispatch a possum. So then I had to go across the other side of the state, and if you'll notice that right there, that's an empty trap because I pulled out because I was going to be gone for 3 or 4 days, couldn't check my traps. So yeah, that'll make you feel good too. So let's say I have an area right there that I want to set a trap at. There's nothing really to attract a cat over there. So, you know, a dirt hole is going to be kind of hard to see. It's not really super visually attractive. I mean, you'd have to fluff it up quite a bit. I mean, this is an expansive bit of woods here. So one thing that can be really visually attractive and command a lot of attention from afar away is to build a cubby there. So let's show you how that would look after I finish it up. Hey guys, so here we are with the finished cubby. Nothing super special about it. I just pile up a whole bunch of sticks, make it almost like a teepee, and then put a dirt hole in the back of it, something that's going to kind of attract them to walk up and look in further. I put my scent, my gland lures in the back of the cubby, and then I'll usually smear some feathers up on the tree limb as well. Obviously the dancing turkey feather is a huge integral part of it. That's going to help attract them from a long way. Just the visual presence of the cubby as a whole, it's unlike anything else in nature. Whether they think it's, you know, something where another cat is buried, you know, his cache or something like that, but it's very intriguing to a cat. I have tons of pictures of cats walking up to cubbies, and they may not always commit and go inside. That's why I put the trap out front. You'll see that here in just a second. But deadly set for cats, really deadly. Let's take a look at how deadly it is. Well guys, obviously the trail camera rolled all night, and I wanted to show you this clip because I think it does a great job of showing how deep the pad catch on this cat was. A lot of people think that you can't get a deep pad catch unless you've got 4 or 5 pounds of pan tension. Obviously you can tell it was set pretty light here for this cat. I'm a firm believer that it's more so than the pan tension is how crisp and how little travel that pan has, how crisp the trap fires. To me, that's a lot more important than pan tension. But yes, pan tension is important, but that thing's got to fire immediately when it breaks over. That's the most important thing, in my opinion. Well guys, here's one of my actual cubbies that I've used on the trap line. I threw this in here because, guys, if you cat trap, you will not only get bobcats coming into your set, you will get feral house cats coming in. I'm way out in the country. I mean, I'm not even anywhere close to a house, and this guy comes in. Luckily, it's about 11 degrees this day, And this was early on in my trapping career. My trap is frozen in, thankfully, for this cat, because he comes in and works all over, steps all over my pan. But you will definitely have house cats come in if you're making good bobcat sets. That's just a given. So be prepared for it, and I'll show you what to do if that happens right here. Hey guys, we're out here in the wild, in the country, on private land, and obviously by permission of the landowner, so everything we're doing is completely legal. Every once in a while though, you'll have a feral cat. A feral cat is a house cat, a domesticated cat that is roaming out wild. They wreak havoc on the bird population. Quail will decimate a quail population. If you want to go and do the research, these guys, the studies and the reports show that they will tear up birds and quail and things like that. They will get in your traps as well. This is what we call a non-target or an incidental catch. I have not contacted the landowner. I actually, you know, a lot of outdoorsmen, we have good feelings about animals of all kinds. Even though we kill animals, we kill deer, we put down coyotes. When it comes to things like this is probably someone's pet. I'm not going to put it down. What we're going to do is we're going to show you how easy it is to release an animal out of a trap. His paws, I've already looked at him. His paws are absolutely fine. We didn't even break the skin on this. We've showed you how traps just hold, they don't hurt. But if you get bit or scratched by a cat, they will make your hand or whatever part they bite with their saliva, with the infection they carry, will swell up 3, 4, 5 times bigger. I mean, there are some tremendous risks with having a cat scratch or a cat bite. So knowing that, we're going to use what we call, this is a catch pole. This is actually what we put down bobcats with, but it's also acts as a safety feature when we need to release an animal. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this, you can see he's not a happy camper, but so we're going to hold him in place so that I've got, need a bigger loop. Okay, all I'm doing is going to hold him there. Focus in here, Matthew. See, his paw is fine. It will be sore for a couple days, okay? But that cat is fine. I'm not choking him. I'm going to release him and watch him run off. Go ahead and get out of here. He's fine. So as you can see, guys, hopefully Matthew was able to focus in on it. There was no blood, nothing. The paw was compressed, it was held, we captured it, and then we could determine whether we wanted to take that animal off the farm or not. In this case, like I said, that's probably someone's pet. We're going to let him go, even though by all rights this landowner could have destroyed that cat as part of its conservation goals. Without permission to do that, I'm not going to do that though. We're going to let him go, and he can live to fight another day. Hopefully he learned a lesson and he'll stay out of our traps. Hey guys, one of the things I talked about early on was that I went to a predominant number of walkthroughs on my bobcat sets. If I'm going to go into an area and really target cats, this is my preferred set. You'll notice here that we're right beside a creek. Cats seem to really work creeks a lot, the creek edges, and cats are like deer. They're edge creatures. They really like edges. And where you'll find rabbits is where you'll find cats. So if you're wondering if you're on location, if you're finding rabbits and good rabbit habitat, you're in good cat habitat. So I love working edges like this because cats will work this all the time. And if you'll notice, I've blocked this cat down. I've left it open and kind of almost like an hourglass here. And what we've got is we've got our exposed pan walkthrough set right here. And what I would do is I would put scent right here on this side of the set, and then another scent, an opposing scent, maybe like a castor lure or something like that on this side, and I would stick it up under there so that it gives two different scents for the cat to shift his feet and walk back and forth and move back and forth on. If you'll notice, I've got this small enough that he can feel comfortable stepping on that, and I've given him a good place to step, but he's not going to jump all the way over. And then we've hung our flagging here. Flagging is going to attract it from way away, and of course, one of the things I would do is I would fluff this really far up. So let me show you that real quick. So we've got our bag here of feathers. So here's exactly, I mean literally I will take it and throw feathers everywhere. Now I don't want one on the pan there, but this is exactly how this set's going to look like. So let me back off and show you this so you can zero in on it. And then guys, I mentioned that I have started cabling off my walkthroughs. I don't stake them down right here to the spot, because if this catches a cat, I'd really like to put it right back the way it was and catch another one the next night. He will, you know, if I catch a big tom, he'll pee in it, the female will as well. But here's how I cable off to a tree, guys. Okay guys, so what I do is I've got two double ferrules here, two aluminum double ferrules, like you would make a staking set with or anything like that. Take your cable, and I cut these off at about 8-foot length, something like that. I'm just going to stick one all the way on here and run it, and then loop it around the tree, okay? Pull that tight. I'm going to take my second double ferrule. I'm going to stick it through here, and then I'm going to loop it back this way and make a second loop. Now all I'm going to do, guys, is slide that down and pull it tight. I can slide it down if I want to out of the way at the bottom, but guys, there is no way you can pull a truck with that. There's no way it's ever coming out. And it's that simple to put on. Now if I want to, all I can do is just cover this up with leaves. If you're worried about the cable showing, I mean, it's simple enough. I'm not going to take the time to cover it all. But if this was an actual set that I was going to use for the rest of the season, I would cover this all with leaves and have the aluminum cable hid. But that's how simple it is, guys, to cable a double long spring off from a walkthrough. And then if, let's say I come back in a week or so and it hasn't connected, here's the easy way to do it. You just pull these double ferrules off, and I'm done. That is a slick trick, guys. So hopefully that helps you put some scents in a little quicker and faster, and it'll hold a mule, so it'll definitely hold a bobcat. Well guys, we talked about the cat being the best teacher. Here's a walkthrough set that I made right on the edge of a creek, just like I explained. He's going to come up, put his paw right on top of a frozen-in coil spring. You'll see him, smelling different scents from left to right here, and there he puts his back foot on it as he squirts some urine on, adding his own scent. So should have had that guy. One of the reasons why I went to double long springs in my walkthroughs. Okay, so we're approaching one of my exposed pan double long spring walkthroughs. And looky there, Mr. Bobcat is waiting on us. Love walking up on cats. You know, a lot of times coyotes will hunker down, they're scared of you. They really don't want to have anything to do with you. A cat really just wants to let you know that it'll rip you from limb to limb if it had the chance. So I'll show you what this set looked like here. It was just a basic walkthrough. Had a duck wing hanging. Yeah, she's mad. So I had a duck wing hanging right here. You may be able to see the swivel. Kind of hard to focus in on it. There was a duck wing hanging from this tree branch right here. There was some bobcat gland lure. You can still see a little bit of it right there. And a walkthrough with an exposed pan, double long spring. And cat just stepped right there in it, just like they're supposed to. Well, here we are back at that same walkthrough. This is obviously a different cat, a little bit smaller, but you can see how this cat works through this walkthrough. Those scents are really, really intriguing to the cat. Cats have a lot better noses than they people give them credit for. And so obviously there's probably a little bit of Perfect or Badlands Bob or something in one side and probably another scent on the other. So watch this cat work through, going back and forth, shifting its feet. And it'll stop and here in a little bit and spray and mark that same spot that previous cat did, which I find unique. You don't think about cats marking scent posts and things like that like a coyote will, but pretty educational here. 2 nights later, actually it might be 1 night later, another cat comes through. Might be the same cat, but coming through from a different angle. But definitely a night later, I looked at the trail cam stamp here, and you'll see just very interested in the scents coming back and forth. So walkthroughs are awesome, guys. Like I said, this is my preferred go-to set. Now, they don't feel so enclosed. They don't feel you know, caged in so much. They can go through it and they feel safe and really unaware of the danger that if they just put their foot in the right spot, you know, you're going to get them. So watching Marcus spot here again, and then come back through, guys. If I'd had a trap there, it'd been all over. Well, guys, let's end it on something kind of unique and, as I guess, slightly educational as well, keeping in the theme of what I like to do with my videos. But I had a friend call me and wanted me to do some animal damage control. He has a hobby farm that was getting overran by beavers. A lot of the trees that he was planting, they were taken out. And so I found this trail that looked like a pretty good trail going down to the water, and set up a trail camera on it and caught this beaver on it the very first night. And he's, you know, there's chewed trees right there, and so I'm really interested in setting up a trap right here, and I'm just kind of thinking about beaver, and lo and behold, right after I set a trap and I actually put some caster lure on the chewed tree right there. And man, this cat, I almost got him. There is a double long spring buried right there. Probably, I guess I should have left it exposed, but I was thinking more about the beaver. And this cat comes in, smells all about that caster lure, and basically this was a walkthrough. I didn't even realize it. So kind of cool. And then the very next night, the beaver comes in and got him. So pretty cool, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. We've enjoyed bringing it to you.